All right, guys, this is Paul Singh, the Market Speculator, with the trade report for April 3rd, 2017, the first trading day of April. We've got earnings coming up with Alcoa reporting on the 10th. Usually there's a lull for about a week and a half, and then we really get going with earnings season. So expect some earnings breakout and gap down plays in the next month and a half. Especially as we get into the middle and late April, early May stages. But right now, my guess is the market would probably be in a little bit of a holding pattern going into earnings. Friday was constructive here as we still held the 9 and recapping here. There was some fear of a deeper pullback. We almost broke down below the 50-day moving average starting last week, Monday, as we were gapping down big pre-market. And then by midday, we had retook the 50-day moving average, remounting here, and basically held the rest of the week. After that pop on Tuesday, essentially held the 9 for the next 3 days, which is good. No real follow through yet. Let's see if that happens this week. Ideally this week, if we could get back up to the highs here, that would really be good. And even if we don't do that, if we can just get above this breakdown bar at about 237.50, I would consider getting a little more aggressive, because that would basically invalidate this kind of little 1% sell-off here. So we'll be watching that very closely. And again, if we could drop to the downside, the 50, and more importantly, if we really start to pull back, how do we handle the old high? And that's where a lot of support is. So if we broke that, that's unlikely this week, but you never know. So we should be aware of that. Qs still continuing to lead. They're right back up at that breakdown level, which is also the highs. So looking pretty good. And then IWM, while lagging overall, led the week. So off the highs here, but above the 50, above its 9, and a really nice move yesterday, which means the broader market moved pretty good last week. Let's look at some sectors here. Still watching biotech very closely. I'll get aggressive and maybe enter LABU if IBB or XBI can get over the big gap down here. And it was more prominent for IBB than it was for the market. With the market down 1%, I think this was down at least 2-3% here, maybe more, 4%. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was much more significant than the market. So we want to overtake that level. If we do, I'll get into biotech. Financials have been lagging, which is kind of odd considering before that sell-off they were leading. But again, once they get over this level, I would consider getting back in. Energy, big move yesterday as oil reacted well to oil inventories on Wednesday. So we've got our oil position that is getting near profit-taking level. So if USO bounces up towards the moving averages here, I will consider taking profit in UWT, which we're in right now. So I'm looking at somewhere between 20, 21 to take profits, and that'll be a really nice win there. If we do, then energy itself, we've got some energy stocks on our watch list this week, maybe bottoming here, have some resistance to break through. And then Russia, always in the news, now below the 50 moving average, and then EWZ Brazil right at that level as well. So we'll watch those closely. Current positions, we've talked about UWT, nice profit so far. If we can pop in the 20s, 21, somewhere in there, I'll start thinking about taking profits. NVIDIA sitting about 2 points above entry, but we're waiting for that 110 break. If we can ever get that 110 break, that should set us up for a big run. And then TTD is our other long that's left after taking some nice profits last week in other stocks, but consolidating above the 50, we needed to get up above the 9. If it does get up above the 9, that could trigger us here to that move back up to these highs. And that would be, again, this is a very small risk here, very high risk reward. I think I'm risking between $600 and $800 with the potential to make 3,000 or 4,000. So really nice risk reward. It's not coming up here. There we go, 16, 17. Entry was in 17 something, and then what was it, 18? I don't remember now. And then TZA, right around 18. Entry was up in here, way back here, but I'm just using this as a hedge, and again, very low risk. And I don't mind as long as my longs are winning, as I have this hedge on here. All right. focus, let's start the week. A pretty big one with the FANG stocks, Facebook, waiting for pullbacks or breakouts on this. Amazon is really, oops, wrong ticker here. Amazon is really extended. We took profits here. I think it was in here on this day, right around just under 870, and it's flew since then. But maybe I should have stuck with it, but I got the 20-point win here. So it was still a nice place to take profits, but at some point it should pull back. Pull back, consolidates, look for where it consolidates if that looks like a good spot, otherwise a break of the highs. So we'll watch that closely. Netflix, also very strong, waiting for a pullback here. And then Google, surprisingly, has been lagging pretty big compared to the other three FANGs. So we'll watch to see where we get an entry on Google. I haven't made a decision on that yet, but of course we'll be watching it. Apple at highs, consolidating, now looking for another break to new highs at around 144. And then finally, the big six here, Tesla, it's pretty much where we took profits, right in here, has consolidated, and now we've got a high up here. We'll see if we can break that. And for all these guys now, we got to start watching where earnings are. Now, a number of gap downs or stocks that have been beaten down are starting to waken up here. So I'd watch Fitbit on a break of the 50-day. UA is also looks like maybe bottoming, again, break of the 50-day. Etsy has been really nice here, already broke the 9, going towards the 50. You could have an entry right here where we are, kind of a gap down reversal. And then before, one of our favorite IPOs from last year that had gotten beaten down. Now these IPOs, this happens a lot. They make these nice runs, they consolidate and get beaten down for a while, and then they break out again. And this is what Facebook did years ago. So you could enter here very low risk, or you could wait for this newly formed 200-day moving average. So it's finally over, 250 days old here. And a break of that would be really nice, but that would be sometime in the future. Right now, I think it's really low risk if you're looking for something. Got some energies on the list. OAS, you could enter here as it broke the 50-day. SM still kind of below, but a nice pattern here. And then EMES, they're all basically putting in the same pattern. It just depends where they are in terms of their moving averages. But all of these look good. They're all low floats. LABU, again, if biotech breaks that breakdown day, we consider that. Then the home builders toll, DHI, I'd look for a break of the highs. Some semiconductors, AAOI, holding support at 9. We want to watch that closely. And of course, a break of 60 would get us in. AMD, same thing. Watch for the break of the highs over 15. WIN was a breakout here, consolidated for a while. A break of 86 would be our trigger. And then finally, earnings breakout play, Panera, PNRA. Already breaking out, I'd watch for a pullback here, but this one could really run still. It's very low float and has some short interest, so we can get a lot of squeeze in here. So that's it for the report to start the week. Now, I haven't listed it here. I'm also watching commodities, which have been beaten down. They're all under their key moving averages, but if they break this week, I would watch some of those, steel, agriculture, and some other things. So that's it for the trade report. I'll see you guys later.